Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at 6.
A local apartment complex turns into a crime scene after a man is shot and killed. I'm Stephanie Rodriguez. What we've learned about the victim and what deputies are saying about the possible suspect.
And a warning to Seminole County voters.
So why the supervisor of elections says you need to check your email after a petition worker was arrested. Candace.
A massive winter storm is going to be causing travel disruptions, power outages, record drops in temperatures. We're going to be pinpointing this big time storm and a look at how this could be impacting our local forecast in minutes.
All right, going to put a little asterisk on this story. You've got to see this. A family's plan for a pool led to a mistake that cost taxpayers thousands.
We did everything by the book. We did not do anything wrong. And we have this massive hole in our yard.
So you might not have heard the beginning. She said they did everything by the book. And all new this morning, the front yard at the center of this big controversy. We're going to break it all down. Good Thursday morning, friends. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Lauren Melendez.
And I'm Stephen Montiero. Justin has the day off. We want to start with our chief meteorologist, Candace Campos, with your forecast. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. It's a nice mild start, albeit still jacket worthy for us here in Florida. Although the rest of the country will be laughing at us if we're wearing jackets at 55 degrees. But hey, this is why we love living here in Central Florida. Right now, we're at 53 degrees in areas of Marion County. Right now, we have one spot that has dropped into the 40s, and that is Wildwood at 48 degrees, mid-50s up and down the I-4 corridor, and already sitting nice in the low 60s along the coast. So as we head throughout the rest of the day, the bus stop forecast, kids will need the jackets early, but they will not need them into the afternoon. Shorts and T-shirts kind of day, maybe flip-flops throughout the afternoon as temperatures will be back into those upper 70s. And we're talking almost beach-like weather as we wrap up the weekend into the weekend. We're talking about temperatures in the low 80s. But again, that winter storm I just mentioned, we're going to see the tail end of that come Sunday into Monday. How is it going to play to our local forecast? We'll have a look at that and a look, of course, at that system coming up in just a couple minutes. Now let's see how those roadways are doing on this almost Friday with Trooper Steve.
Oh, say it again.
Almost Friday.
Oh, yes. So nice. I can't wait for the weekend. It's been a week. I-4 downtown.
You can say that again.
Downtown. It is moving just fine this morning. If you're getting ready to hit the road at 6:02 in the morning, make sure you're manually turning on your headlights. You're reminding yourself, complete stops. We want to start the day off right. No issues out there right now, and everything's starting to look pretty good. International Drive, you are clear out on the west side, Dr. Phillips, and then Point Siena. We are starting to see a little bit of a delay along 535 northbound from West 192 up towards 417, but downtown Kissimmee, for right now, you guys are looking pretty good. Now to that breaking news overnight, a deadly scene in an Orange County apartment complex after a man is found shot.
So the victim later died at the hospital. Now an investigation is underway to figure out exactly what unfolded here. All of it happening late last night. It's on Moselle Avenue. That's off Old Cheney Highway, not far from State Road 436, which is where we find News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez. So what can you tell us about what exactly happened, what police are doing, or where they are in this investigation?
Hey, Lauren, Steve. Yeah, we're working to get as much information as we can as possible, but the details are still limited this morning. However, we do know that the person that deputies believe was responsible for the shooting has been detained. You can see the Orange County Sheriff's Office still on scene here this morning at the apartment complex on Moselle Avenue. Again, we do know that a suspect was detained, and the Sheriff's Office says that there is no danger to the community at this time. We're still working to learn the identity of that suspect and if they knew the victim. Of course, once we have all of that, we'll bring it to you live on air and at clickorlando.com. Reporting live in Orange County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Thanks, Stephanie. Also breaking overnight, Orlando police are also investigating a shooting. This one happened just before 7 last night on Edgemore Street. That's right off of Ivy Lane, just south of Old Winter Garden Road. Police confirmed to News 6 an adult man was shot, but is expected to survive. So far, though, they're not saying anything else about what happened or possible suspects. As you guys know, the sooner as we get information, we will let you know.
Well, a judge is set to try again today to have a first court appearance for a man accused of attacking a 13-year-old at a bus stop in DeLand. His name is Christopher Schwabel. He was supposed to appear yesterday, but that was delayed because of what the judge says was serious behavioral issues. Now, this attack all happened on Tuesday. It was near Spring Garden Avenue and Clear Lake Drive. Police say Schwabel suddenly grabbed that teen. He started choking him, pulled a knife out. The new body camera video we have shows that teen actually explaining to officers what happened.
I see this guy walking down the street.
This guy right here?
Yeah, walking down the sidewalk, and then he approaches me and starts saying some stuff that I didn't understand, and he grabbed me and pulled his knife out.
It was a good Samaritan who saw that attack, made a U-turn, and jumped in to help.
Very thankful for the guy that was able to help him out before we were able to get out there.
So that was the victim's sister right there. Schwabel had only been out of jail for a week before this attack. This was after a previous arrest on drug and exposure charges. Well, right now, an extreme winter storm, it is threatening more than half the country, and this weekend is expected to put nearly 200 million Americans in the danger zone. And that is on top of bad weather that already is happening, some of them already potentially dealing with. Let's go to New York. Nearly 4 feet of snow. That triggered dangerous whiteout conditions. Midwest, Chicago, they're bracing for wind chills. Get this, it could feel like negative 40 degrees. That makes exposure quite literally life-threatening. And now this new system pushing east toward the south, it's expected to bring heavy snow, freezing rain, and dangerous ice. So we brought in the expert, Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. At this point, we just want to get right to it. Bottom line, are we impacted?
We're going to be very little. Just a little bit. We're going to see a little bit of rain, some cooler temperatures, but nothing compared to what the rest of the country. I mean, really, at the end of the day, we're talking about almost a trifecta. You see that right behind you? That's
there's a lot going on. So break this down.
Yeah, so that's an upper level low, right? And that's what's going to start stirring the big pot, right? Across the deep south, the mid-Atlantic states as well. It's such a focal point in this weather forecast. They even sent hurricane hunters out there late last night. So yes, to make sure that they really understand the structure of that storm.
Got it.
The second thing we need is a lot of moisture, and we're having an area of low pressure that's going to start scooping up from the Gulf. That's going to be bringing in almost tropical-like moisture, and then we've got sub-freezing temperatures. So again, the way the atmosphere is going to be stacked up, this is going to be the strongest winter storm we've seen all season long. But look at all these. We have extreme cold warnings
everywhere.
Negative 40-degree temperatures possible. Winter storm watches that will be shifted to warnings. It is going to be a mess. If you have any travel plans, family, it is going to be impacting a lot of people.
I wanted to highlight that. It may not affect us here, but you might know somebody, you might have family, or you could be traveling. So heads up.
We're going to feel guilty of how nice the weather's going to be after this system.
And you'll be watching this all day.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Lauren, Chief, thank you. Some good news this morning. We're learning a teen who was hit while on the e-bike during the first day of school is recovering quite well. So check this out. You may recall back in August, a 14-year-old named Howard had to be airlifted to Arnold Palmer after being hit by a car while riding on Howland Boulevard in Deltona. Well, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office just posted this pic of Howard fully recovered, hanging out with the sheriff, Sheriff Chitwood, and the Sheriff's Office SWAT team. He spent the day training on firearms proficiency and safety. This visit was just in time for his birthday, which is today. So from all of us here at News 6, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Okay, airline miles are hard to earn, perks cost more to reach, and travelers, well, look, I agree that rewards don't really feel rewarding anymore. We'll tell you what's changed, but also how to still make that system work for you.
But first, the family plans for a pool turned into a costly tab for taxpayers. The approval they got by mistake that turned into a $40,000 settlement. And traffic out there, not too bad this morning. Things are pretty steady. We need to keep it that way. Here's a check of your drive times.
I was involved in a car accident, called attorney Dan Newland. His team was outstanding. At the end of my case, Dan got me $800,000.
Involved in a car accident? Call me at 407-888-8000.
The new and improved News 6 app is here. We've updated everything and added new features to make it even better. Like a more customizable home screen where you can log in and see the stories important to you at a glance. Stream News 6 and News 6 Plus live anywhere, anytime with picture-in-picture playback while using other apps on your phone. And now, the More For You section, which offers even more options to choose from. The new and improved News 6 app.
Who plans to climb a 101-story skyscraper without a safety net on live TV. Next, Inside Edition.
Tonight at 7:30 on News 6.
All right, this yard right here behind us is at the center of some big controversy in Seminole County. And you can see at one point it was dug up after the family got permission to put a pool in.
So it turns out that approval was a big mistake. And as News 6 anchor Ginger Gadsden explains new this morning, now the county has to spend thousands of dollars, your dollars, to dig itself out of a hole. Well, in exchange for the $40,000, the Taylors had to request that variance be terminated, which it was, and Ginger did speak with them in person. They didn't want to go on camera, but they said they were disappointed and they just want to put the whole ordeal behind them.
New this morning, loyalty programs for frequent travelers are changing and staying faithful to one airline isn't paying off the way that it kind of used to. So for decades, frequent flyers earned status based on the miles in the air. Makes sense how airline loyalty now is being driven by dollars spent instead of distance traveled. Airlines are also tightening those rewards. American Airlines no longer rewards redeemable miles on basic economy tickets. Delta has raised the cost to reach top tier status from $15,000 a year to $28,000. That's a lot of flying. And studies also show the average cost of reward seats has jumped more than 36% since 2019.
These companies are really looking at how much you're adding to their bottom line as opposed to just the quantity of spending or the quantity of flights.
Experts say airlines are also cutting back on complimentary upgrades. One thing you may want to keep, though, is an airline credit card, which can sometimes boost miles and status faster. I don't know.
Goodness.
I just struggle with the idea that if you're a major company and you're
nickel and diming
your passengers and your CEOs make
seats get smaller, prices go higher.
It's just like, come on.
Glass of wine's like $13.
I know. The way I get around it, my little loophole is I just shove myself into Steve's luggage.
There you go.
Leave some space for me, man.
Yeah,
let's go.
All right, let's talk about the weather forecast.
We're definitely not going north this weekend.
No, and listen, there's one place you don't want to go is north. Anywhere north in across the Americas here. As we look at the week ahead, temperatures locally, we're back into the 80s. Why would you want to go anywhere else? A lot of people might be booking flights here, so if all of a sudden you get a ring on your doorbell and it's family from up north, you know why they're coming. Spotty showers might be in the forecast just a little bit, but we are looking at a slight bump in rain chances very late Sunday, early Monday, and that same winter storm that's going to be bringing a winter wallop across half of the country will be bringing us a little bit of rain Monday and some cooler temperatures throughout the majority of next week. We could be tracking another cold front next week that will be dropping temperatures even further. Now temperatures out the door right now, it is above normal for this time of the year to be in the mid-50s, but we'll take it after the frigid start we had this week. Certainly light jacket though if you're heading out the door. But now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
All right, so our average high is 71. We're going to be up to about 72 to 76 degrees, so slightly above average with the return of the 80s by tomorrow. You can see as we take you throughout the next few hours, a little more cloud cover overhead can't be ruled out, with the low tonight right back down into those mid to upper 50s. So clouds remain futurecast, not really showing a whole lot. Very calm weather, maybe a few spotty showers clip the coastline today and tomorrow just due to that onshore breeze. But overall, our conditions are going to stay pretty quiet at least until about Sunday, late Sunday, and into early Monday. As we start approaching that, as that cold front starts to approach the area, though, by Sunday, we could even be flirting with record highs in the low 80s. So while the rest of the country is in a deep freeze under rain, snow, and ice, we're going to be sitting pretty. Again, we're going to be the envy this weekend across the country. So let's look here, kind of the wider view. Again, this is the big story. You can see the big, basically, wave of snow and ice and rain that's going to be taking over. The bulk of it will start up on Saturday and continuing to at least Sunday evening and into Monday. You can see how much snow and ice and rain will be dumping across parts of the country. The ice, pretty thick layer of ice, it certainly can be disruptive, especially for areas as far deep south as we're expecting. But look at the snowfall totals, upwards about almost a foot or two in some isolated spots across the Northeast and the mid-Atlantic states. You can see here we're talking about freezing rain, that mixture of sleet as far south even as Atlanta and Louisiana. Now again, that same cold front will bump rain chances up just a hair on Monday. And then as we head into the rest of next week, you can see here the Climate Prediction Center really leaning towards a cooler than average stretch. But again, Sunday nearing records, the envy of the country, before we also join in on some cooler temperatures by next week. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
Good morning to you guys out on the road. 621, 408 looking pretty good. Out towards 436. Nice and clear this morning. That will get busy in a few. Champions Gate starting to see guys coming in from Polk County, but drive time still looking great. Kissimmee 192, Vine Street, east and westbound. Even Buenaventura this morning, no major problems. 528 out on the east side, still running clear. And then we do have a crash, though. It's going to be out on Pineda, way out on the east side, right there at the Pineda Causeway at A1A. This does have roadblocks, so please be careful. You are currently watching News 6 Mornings. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Orlando Health.
as a trooper, I know how every crash is going to affect your commute. So watch me on News 6 Mornings.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newman.
That's an excited teacher right there. All right, mixed reactions as we learn more about the possible plans to use a warehouse in Orange County to house illegal immigrants.
Up next, a response from Mayor Buddy Dyer. Plus,
he's feeling bad because he feels that if he went back in, he might be able to do something to save Becca.
we talked to the father of the surviving victim of a deadly stabbing office attack. Mark?
New life could be coming to this historic citrus plant in Winter Garden. Coming up, the key step happening today to transform the 117-year-old building into a family-oriented destination.
If you're grabbing the family, maybe playing a little hooky today, theme park forecast is looking good. It's been too cold for the water rides. Not today, not this weekend. Temperatures could even get close to near records by Sunday. We'll have more details on a look at the next couple changes in the forecast and, of course, that big winter storm.
Man, it's nice to live in Florida. Right now, your roads are doing quite well this morning on a Thursday. 408 up to speed, whether you're headed towards Orlando or away. Things are looking good. You're watching News 6 Morning. Stay with us.
Watch Mark Lehman, your News 6 Seminole County community correspondent. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6.
Time now, 6:30 on your Thursday.
All right, let's get you a check of our top stories. We have some breaking news from overnight. A deadly shooting under investigation in Orange County. The victim was found at an apartment complex. This was on Moselle Avenue. Deputies tell us the suspect has been detained, but they're not sharing any additional details.
And we're waiting to see if the man accused of attacking a 13-year-old at a bus stop in DeLand will finally face a judge. The court appearance for Christopher Schwabel was supposed to happen yesterday, but it was delayed because of what the judge is calling a behavioral issue.
And more than 70 million people across 20 states are under winter storm watches right now, with more likely on the way. It's all because of a huge system that is set to bring damaging ice and heavy snow from the south all the way into the northeast. It is a headache. And fortunately for us, we're pretty much in the clear. No snow in the forecast. We will eventually feel some impacts from that monster storm. So let's bring in the expert to break it all down. You and I are both like, can we just keep the warm weather?
Please, let's keep it. But I'm glad we have Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos really kind of explaining what we're seeing and what the rest of the country is seeing out there.
Between Saturday and Sunday, most of the kind of this eastern half of the country is going to be dealing with sub-freezing temperatures, snow, ice, rain. It's just going to be an absolute mess. Sunday here in Orlando, we are going to be flirting with records with a high potentially up to 85. So again, we are going to see complete kind of a yin to their yang in the forecast before we start to tap into some of that cooler air. Right now, it's a nice mild start. Downtown Orlando's sky camera at 55 degrees. That breeze picking up every once in a while, upwards about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So mostly clear skies tonight. We're in the 50s at this point, near 60 already in Melbourne. But I do want to show you that weekend forecast. Today will be in the 70s. Friday will start back into the 80s. This is a stretch, a 3-day stretch in the 80s in January, nearing records on Sunday, all before that next winter storm moves into our local forecast. We'll have the full breakdown on its impacts nationally and locally coming up in just a couple minutes. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
My wife won't even ask me like what I'm doing right now throughout the next couple of days because she's up north.
Yeah.
She doesn't even want to hear it. Well, it's going to be nice. 408 looking good this morning. No problems out there. And then the attractions area. If you're coming in from Polk County, no issues. But I'm going to call this an active construction zone. Even if all your lanes are open, there's still some men and women out there working. So just please be careful. Turnpike's looking good this morning. If you're headed northbound through the area, nice and clear. But Brevard, I do have a crash off of Pineda, off of A1A, causing some slowdowns this morning. So if you're on the coast, watch out. Also breaking overnight, a deadly shooting at an Orange County apartment complex. Now, one person has been confirmed dead, but there are a lot of questions still this morning on what exactly took place out there.
So what we do know is that it started last night on Moselle Avenue, and that's just off Cheney Highway, not far from State Road 436. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez joins us live from that area to break down what we have confirmed at this hour.
Hey, you guys, yeah, we're out here, and you can see the Orange County Sheriff's Office is as well, but we do not know the identity of the suspect. They've taken into custody. We're still waiting to confirm that. We also don't know if that person had a relationship with the victim or knew them at all personally. Of course, once we have that information, we'll bring it to you. Reporting in Orange County, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Thank you, Stephanie. This morning, we now know deputies responded to the home of the man accused of killing 3 tourists in Osceola County dozens of times before the shooting. Now, court records show Ahmad Boja was not legally allowed to own a gun after judges ordered in a separate case in 2022. So this past weekend, he's accused of using a firearm to kill 3 out-of-state tourists staying next door to his home off of Poinciana Boulevard. The sheriff down in Osceola County says he's a known problem in the neighborhood.
I can tell you he was a threat to that neighborhood all the time. We had a lot of calls for service on this person in that area, so he was a known person, a frequent flyer to the sheriff's office.
Right now, investigators are looking into how Boja obtained that gun. He remained locked up on multiple counts of first-degree murder.
Also this morning, we're learning from the father of the man who tried to save his counselor during a deadly stabbing in Orange County. This happened Monday night at a counseling office off Lee Road. Police say Michael Smith, a former client, broke in during a group session and attacked the therapist. One patient did try to stop him, but was stabbed. He stabbed 10 times specifically, and he fell down a flight of stairs. Now, the counselor, 44-year-old Rebecca White, she died on the way to the hospital.
He's feeling bad because he feels that if he went back in, he might be able to do something to save Becca. He cried about it, you know, he should have done something better. He blames himself. You can't do that.
Again, that is the father of the man who survived, who was stabbed 10 times. The family says they are trying to help him heal. They've even set up a GoFundMe to help cover some of his medical bills.
New this morning, incredible video from Lady Lake Police shows how a drone helped save an 88-year-old man who had walked away from his home. Check this out. Police say the man has dementia and left his house early Tuesday morning. After they sent up the drone, they were able to spot and track down the man. In about 3 minutes, the man was covered in blood from a fall and appeared very confused and disoriented. He was taken to the hospital for a head injury and hypothermia. Police say without the quick drone response, this could have ended much differently.
Well, new this morning, we know the woman killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis was shot at least 3 times. Those findings are from an independent autopsy released by Renee Good's family, and it shows the 37-year-old sustained injuries to her head, her arm, and chest. Her death has sparked protests nationwide, with critics saying the agent didn't need to open fire. Meantime, the Department of Homeland Security, they do maintain that Good weaponized her vehicle when she drove at the agent while interfering with an ICE operation. Also, for the first time, we are now hearing from Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer about plans by ICE to possibly use this warehouse, this is just off the beach line, to house illegal migrants.
I've heard nothing but rumors, nothing official we've not even been contacted by ICE in any official ways.
Mayor Buddy Dyer says he didn't want to speculate any further, but he did say the city was doing legal research about all of this. Yesterday, Orange County Democrats even spoke out about the ongoing crackdown on illegal immigration. They called on others to join them in protest.
We still have the Constitution of the United States behind us, and we have the First Amendment that gives us the right to assemble against our government.
And we also talked to the governor's office yesterday, who said so far no decisions have been made on any new detention facilities in any parts of the state.
Happening today, it's a long-awaited makeover for a piece of Winter Garden history. City leaders are set to approve plans to give historic citrus packing plant new life. For 117 years, the plant has sat off Tildenville School Road, but tonight, a new project design could change absolutely everything. Our News 6 Mark Lehman is live this morning, and Mark, this plans include big transformations.
Yeah, and some of that work is already happening. Through the window just over my shoulder, we're seeing scaffolding up and walls being constructed where that makeover is happening. Exterior work will also be happening out here as well, and a focus is maintaining this historic structure, and that includes preserving things like the windows and also maybe areas of exposed brick as well. And the goal in all of this is that it will eventually be transformed into a dining and entertainment destination. Now, this project was originally set to be completed in 2021, but faced years of delays after the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the City Commission will be voting on the site plan at 6:30 tonight, and the owner tells me he hopes to have the old packing house open by the summer. For now, reporting live in Winter Garden, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you so much. 6:40 here today. NASA will pause to reflect on the men and women who lost their lives in the pursuit of space exploration. This is the agency's annual Day of Remembrance. It honors the lives lost in the Apollo 1 fire, along with the Challenger and Columbia shuttle disasters. So the event is traditionally held every year on the fourth Thursday of January, as all 3 astronaut accidents happened around the end of the month. Observances will be held today at several agencies all around the country, including at the Kennedy Space Center. A commemoration will start at 11 in the morning. All right, your time now 6:40. A chance to experience 1,500 acres and countless stories.
That actually sounds like a vacation. Coming up, how a free program in Flagler County is helping families slow down and see Florida differently.
First, though, Ulta Beauty World tickets sold out. They're gone, folks, before most people even had a chance to buy. Coming up, why the demand was so intense and what it means if you missed out. Candace.
And we are going to continue to warm up over the next couple of days. We even could be nearing record highs, especially come Sunday, while the rest of the country is under a layer of ice and snow and sub-freezing temperatures. We will tap in somewhat to that same system by early next week. We'll have more details, your full local and national forecast in minutes.
And if you're heading out to the coast, maybe to enjoy our weather here in Central Florida, things for the most part good along 528. I am watching a crash off of Panita. When we come back, we'll check it out.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health. Watch Mark Lehman, your News 6 Seminole County community correspondent.
Well, the long-stalled Majesty building on I-4 remains empty, and this morning the rumors about a tenant moving in, they've gone quiet. The building, better known as the I-4 eyesore, it has sat partially finished for decades, and last summer, well, word spread that a tenant was interested in leasing the space on the first floor. So high hopes, right? City manager says they got a phone call. That was it. We followed up this week. We found no new movement. That means for now, no tenant, no lease, and no timeline either for when anyone could actually move in.
All right, it is talk of many online this morning. So check this out. Tickets for this year's Ulta Beauty World dropped, and for the most people, it ended in heartbreak. So Ulta Beauty World 2026, if you didn't know, is here in Orlando, is officially sold out after tickets went on sale just yesterday, and the response was immediate. In less than 2 hours, more than 3 million people flooded the online queue, fighting for just 3,000 seats. So your chances, not good. The massive beauty expo is coming to the Orange County Convention Center this April, but many fans were left staring at a loading screen. Got to have that good connection. Ulta says the demand was overwhelming, but for now, there's no word on another ticket release. If you were lucky enough to get one, passes are non-refundable. They cannot be resold or transferred.
Let me tell you, this is a master class in sales. Limited seats, limited tickets, they're gone. Okay, many studies show that spending time in nature, it can improve your mood. It can even lower anxiety, but not everybody is actually comfortable venturing out on their own.
Yeah, but that's why we got this guy. News 6 Paul Giorgio shows us whether you're an experienced hiker or you've been out in the woods, Flagler County's Walk in the Park program has something for everyone.
Doesn't it just make you want to go out there?
Paul needs to get recorded
Yeah.
for sweet little nothings, and then so everyone that watches
We wake
News
up to
6
it.
can wake up to Paul telling you a beautiful story.
The most superb storyteller.
Yeah, and I mean, and the folks there were having a nice time. They probably will wear more shorts and T-shirts as we head into the weekend. It's going to be warmer even there in Palm Coast as we're going to continue to see temperatures nearing 80. I'm going to show you a Florida appreciation graphic. So these are those graphics you remember in the middle of the pits of summer. All right, temperatures out the door right now. We're at 53 in Ocala, 57 in Daytona Beach. Good morning to you guys in Seminole County right now, holding at 55. 64 currently there in Cocoa Beach, 60 from Melbourne down through Mico. But as we take you here throughout the next few hours, we are going to continue to rebound those temperatures back into the mid-70s. It is going to be slightly above average, a little warmer than yesterday, and then we'll have a nice stretch of 80-degree temperatures kickstarting tomorrow. Later on tonight, we are going to continue to stay on the mild side still as the kids are heading to the bus stop tomorrow morning for their Friday day of school. We're also looking at temperatures a little bit on the mild side, certainly jacket worthy still. Back here at home, really looking at the forecast, not a whole lot to talk about other than those nicer, warmer temperatures. We could see maybe an isolated sprinkle or two along the coastline between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But it's really not until late Sunday, early Monday, where the arrival of that big winter storm will start moving into us here in Central Florida, bringing with it a slight bump in rain chances. So what big storm am I talking about? No worries, this storm is not going to be showing any signs of this locally, okay? So the brunt of all of the activity and the concerns across the country. We have winter storm watches. We have extreme cold warnings across the area. I mean, big parts of the deep south will be under a block of ice for some time, starting up on Saturday, continuing as late as about Monday. As you can see here, it is going to be a mess for travel, family, and friends out there. So this is our, again, Florida appreciation graphic. Notice these are the actual temperatures. This is not wind chill. This is Friday morning will be at 60, where parts up towards, let's say, Fargo is at negative 19 degrees. I want to show you here. Friday afternoon, our high is 80. Their high is negative 9. That's a 95-degree temperature between south and north. And then as we continue throughout Saturday, that cold air continues to sink further south. Saturday morning will be in the 60s, where a bulk of the area will be in the teens and in the negatives. Again, that doesn't even include the wind chill, which will slice these temperatures considerably. And then on Sunday, notice areas like Roanoke will be down to 13, Little Rock down to 16 degrees. We will be staying nice and pretty in those mid-60s throughout the overnight hours. Now, again, that main cold front, the same winter storm, will move into Central Florida by Monday, bumping up rain chances a little bit. It will be ushering in a nice little cooler stretch early next week. Could be staying in the 60s, though, throughout most of the week. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
We're moving pretty good across Central Florida right now. No major issues. We do have an issue out on the coast, though. But Kissimmee, the delays along the turnpike. You guys already know that. So just watch out. That construction at 192, the 242, I believe. Just be cautious out there. But that crash off Panita could slow you down this morning right there at A1A. FHP reporting with roadblocks. So just be cautious. And then the rest of us out in the coast, nice and easy. Today, Trooper Steve on patrol will air at 8 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. News 6 Plus, YouTube, and clickorlando.com. I sat down, or they rode with me, the Carrie Ann DeMont Foundation, commemorating 10 years of difference. Check it out.
It's awesome. We have to get you some breaking news overnight. A deadly scene at an Orange County apartment complex. After the break, what investigators are saying this morning about a suspect in custody.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Armor View Window and Door.
I know how crucial it is to be ready for any type of weather. So whether the sun's shining or the storms are rolling in, I've got your back, pinpointing the weather down to the minute. I'm meteorologist Candace Campos. Let's tackle the day together, weekday mornings on News 6.
Welcome back here at 6:54. Another hour of news is ahead on News 6 Plus, but we're going to bring you a preview first, starting with Stephanie Rodriguez and that breaking violence overnight in Orange County.
Lauren, we know that the sheriff's office tells us that a man was shot and killed last night in this apartment complex here behind me. The sheriff's deputies arrived at 10:30. This complex is on Moselle Avenue. They found that man in his 30s who had been shot. Now, that man did not survive his injuries despite efforts to save him at a nearby hospital. We're still waiting to learn that man's identity, if he may have known the person who shot him, and any other information that we can bring you. We do know, as I mentioned, that a suspect is in custody. We're still working to learn more information about that person and their connection to the victim. Once we have that, we'll bring it to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. The man accused of attacking a 13-year-old at a school bus stop in DeLand is once again due in court today. Christopher Schwabel was supposed to appear yesterday, but that was delayed because of what the judge called bad behavior. Mark.
A developer could get the green light tonight to transform this historic citrus packing plant in Winter Garden. The site on Tildenville School Road has been empty, closed for years. The plan in the works is to add everything from food and retail to professional and medical offices. Now, the redevelopment would maintain many of the existing buildings while adding new sidewalks and landscaping. City staff is recommending approval of the plans. And the City Commission meeting, the City Commission will take up the vote at 6:30 tonight. Candace?
It is a nice mild start, certainly jacket worthy as you are heading out the door, but into the afternoon, hello 70s. We are back above average across Central Florida. Another mild night for tonight. We'll get back into the 80s on Friday, nearing record highs potentially on Sunday with a high of 85. That big winter storm, though, will be just skirting our coastal areas by Monday, bringing with it a nice cool down. Nothing compared to what the rest of the country will be dealing with all weekend long.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, break news over at clickorlando.com.
We only had to beat you up all week to get these temperatures.
Right.
Thank you so much, Chief.
I give in.
Yeah, you can find all of our top stories on our News 6 Plus app for your TV.
Join us on News 6 Plus coming up next.
Watch Jana Manohalal, your News 6 East Orange County community correspondent.